Dear friends, I'm Justin George from Gallant IAS Academy, a history optional. Why many aspirants fail to score in history optional? What are the things they repeatedly do because of which there is very low score or they have to compromise with the 210, 220, 230 in history optional? Please watch this video till the end. In this video, I will share you what all things which helped these history optional toppers to improve their score or helped them to score above 280, 290 in their history optional. So this video would be very much helpful for you. And those guys who want support of or who want any kind of assistance in your preparation from my side, feel free to contact me in the given numbers. I'm sharing you some very core things. First thing is, one of the biggest problem with many aspirants is that they learn everything from Ubender Singh to R. Sharma, Sadish Chandra, Biban Chandra, Irfan Habib, Shekhar Bandobade, in IGNOW notes. They learn everything, they prepare notes of it. But the biggest problem, most of the toppers also admitted the fact, those years when they ignored the full length test or they reduced the number of the full length test, their score was very low. And they got a 280 plus or 290 plus, or they cracked this exam when they focused on giving lots of full length test. So what I'm trying to say is that you learn everything, revise well, prepare the study notes, everything is fine, and prepare the flowcharts, templates for each theme, each topic, all is fine. At the same time, it is very much important that you have to practice full length test. I would say for each section, minimum 4 full length tests you practice. You have time. At least for students appearing 2026, you have time, and students appearing 2025, at least you give full length test. At least two full length tests for each section. That way, you will get an idea. Because the biggest part is, for example, Indian Renaissance is the question. You know everything about all dimensions of Indian Renaissance, but you may struggle when a question is asked from Indian Renaissance and structuring that answer into 150 words or 250 words with the proper intro, body, conclusion, including examples, case studies, and historical narratives in just 10 minutes or 12 minutes. That will be a challenge for you. So learning everything is fine. Along with that, you have to practice full length test. You must know how to structure the answers. If question is asked, how to structure the answers and how to finish them in a time bound manner. That is very much important. So that is the first thing I share with you. So don't ever ignore the mock test. Second thing is that many students don't know the fact that second paper, I mean paper 2, which is dealing world history and Indian history, that requires current linked perspectives. Okay, current linked perspectives means, for example, there is a question on this World War One. Okay, a question is on World War One. So when you answer this question, World War One, its causes and consequences asked. Of course, you should have an idea how these treaty diplomacies played a crucial role. Treaty diplomacies, how they played a crucial role in shaping this modern Middle East. Or when you deal different topics in this, like a world history or Indian history, the ideas of these gender issues, nationalism, or this urbanization, so many things are there. You must know the current status. So paper 2 demands current linked perspectives also. That is something very important when you answer questions from paper 2. Another issue is that too much content, too little analysis. You have content, that is you have content in the answer. For example, Indus Valley civilization, you write everything about the salient features of Indus Valley civilization. Now, if you missed the questions why and how, then that is waste of time. For example, when you answer the salient features of Indus Valley civilization, of course, you have to connect with these urbanism theories, or you have to compare it with the other contemporary civilizations. Those things are important. Those analysis part is very important. Next is like neglecting this historiography. This is one of the common issues with most of the students. Most of the students, they miss the historiography part. For example, Mauryan administration. When you simply describe Mauryan administration and without this materialistic lens of D.D. Koshambi or ideological framework of Romila Thapar, then this answer is just no use. So make sure that you have good grip over the historiography of ancient, medieval, modern, and world, and you must know how to brilliantly use them in the answers, supporting your arguments, supporting your views. There is another problem which is a failure of linking this or a thematic linkage. That is something you are missing. For example, you are discussing on certain issues and you fail. I mean, somewhere you miss the transitional words. Somewhere you fail to bringing different dimensions to the answer. For example, Bhakti Renaissance or Bhakti Reformism is asked. You should have dimensions like how it is connected with urbanism or urbanization or growth of vernacular language literature or this cultural revivalism, reformism or caste like you know reformations. So those elements are also very important. Have a proper interlinkage with or among these various thematic elements or various dimensions parts that you shouldn't miss. There is another thing is that most of the students rely on this guidebook like summary book like a spectrum. You prepare everything from spectrum. This is spectrum. I always say that it is kind of a summary book or a guide for UPC aspirants for prelims part. If you are relying too much on spectrum, that is, I would say, that will not help you in history optional answers. For example, there is a character analysis of 1857 revolt. It is the first war of Indian independence. You are supposed to analyze why it is first war of Indian independence. So without touching this British school and Marxist schools, you are analyzing this 1857 as war of Indian independence without acknowledging or without connecting with the British Marxist historiographies or colonial historiographies. That is, I don't think it will fetch you much. Similar way, lacking proper case studies, examples, or evidences. That is one problem with the most of the answers. Okay, most of the answers are missing concrete examples. Concrete examples, the primary sources, or the case studies, or the evidences. For example, when you deal Ashoka's Dhamma, you have to mention these different inscriptions, especially inscription Rocketic 13 and all. You know, so when you talk about something, it must be backed by proper examples and evidences. That is something very much, I mean, literary evidences or archaeological evidences. Because answers without the sources, they mostly look like fictional stories. Okay, because your arguments, your statements, your points must be substantiated with the proper examples, evidences, which is very much important. Another thing is that there is a problem with lacking these maps, and that is also very important. uh, most of the answers, especially when you write answers in paper one, it demands, for example, it is about Buddhism, the spread of Buddhism, or it is about this decentralization of Guptas, or it is about this emergence of regional kingdoms, or it is about it is this India's Southeast Asian connections. See, most of cases, or about imperial Cholas spread, or about these architectural evolutions. In most cases, you can use these maps. So missing maps, that is again a grave mistake. I feel you must have because many toppers also accepted that when they started using maps appropriately in the answers, it made lots of changes with regard to scoring part. Then a very standard answer structure part is also very important. You see, the problem with many answers is that you just like writing a chapter from NCRT, you write an answer, or writing a chapter from a particular book or a particular material, you write an answer, where critical account is missing, historians narratives missing, evidence examples missing, interlinkage part is missing. So make sure your answer have a proper structure and it is well balanced with the necessary things like historiography, evidences examples, or these maps, such kind of the properties. Another thing is time mismanagement in paper writing. Time mismanagement in the sense that you have different questions in paper one. You know that there is a compulsory map question is there, followed by descriptive answers questions. In paper two also, out of 8 you have to write 5. Now the problem is that you do justice to some answers. I mean, you give proper pages, or you balance every dimension, you balance very well. But going to some answers, for example, you see there is a question on Indus Valley civilization and its relevance in modern urbanization. Suppose you answer it very nicely, okay, very nicely. But the second question, or maybe the final question, is on Sangam, literature, how they reflect the women of Sangam society, that you answer in just one page or half page. That is bad idea. And similar way, in a single answer, in a single question, a question is having two parts or three parts. Two parts you answered nicely, and the third part you just finished in concluded in 2 lines. Shouldn't be like that. Make sure that every part of the answer is properly addressed, and all questions are maybe 10 marks questions, 15 marks questions, 20 marks questions. That is, well balanced, that you take care. So all this is possible. All this is possible if you practice it on regular basis. Never leave any part of answer underdeveloped. That will give a bad impression, and of course, that's a chance of getting. I mean, you may lose your marks. So these things I'm sharing with everyone, all the students with the history optional. If you really want to make it a revolution, if you really want to prove history optional, an optional that has the potential for more than 100 students to score 300 plus, maybe it's a dream come true. But it is, of course, already many people have proven that this 300 plus is possible in history optional. So if you take care of these aspects for freshers and veterans, if you take care of these aspects, and your answers get corrected by experts, at least people with the patience, they take care of every aspect of your answer. This will definitely help you in the upcoming exams. History optional is no longer be a low scoring optional. It is highly potential scoring optional. Don't listen to the rumors and gossips. If you have taste, passion for this, definitely if you take care of these aspects, and in a very consistent and disciplined manner, if you approach this paper, this is scoring just like other optionals. Okay, all the best. Thank you. If you want any support from my side, please contact me. That's it. All the best.
Gallant IAS, chasing your passion to ace.